About eating anything ever.
Okay, here we go.
Someone told me I should try a Cracker Barrel.
Before coming to America, I thought I already knew American food. Burgers, fries, fast food, bigger portions. But after driving thousands of miles across the country, I realized something that completely changed my opinion. America doesn't have one food culture. It has 50. Every state tells its own story through food. And by the end of this journey, I wasn't just eating differently. I was seeing America differently. The adventure began in New York. As a European, I honestly believed no American pizza could compete with what I'd tasted back home. Friends warned me that everything in America was oversized, greasy, and designed more for speed than flavor. Then someone handed me a hot slice of New York pizza. The first surprise wasn't the taste. It was watching everyone fold the slice before taking a bite. I smiled, copied them, and took my first bite. The crust was thin but crisp. The tomato sauce tasted fresh. The cheese stretched with every bite, but somehow it wasn't overwhelming. Suddenly, I understood why New Yorkers defend their pizza with so much passion. Later that afternoon, I tried New York cheesecake. It was rich, creamy, yet incredibly smooth. At that moment, I realized something. America wasn't trying to copy Europe. It had created its own classics. And this was only the first day.
A few hours later, my journey brought me to Philadelphia. Someone told me, you can't leave without trying a Philly cheesesteak. Looking at it, I wasn't impressed. Just bread, beef, onions, and melted cheese. It looked far too simple. But appearances can be incredibly misleading. The first bite completely changed my mind. The bread was soft, the beef was tender, the onions added sweetness, and the melted cheese tied everything together. While I was eating, locals were debating something that sounded almost like a national argument. Whiz or provolone? Everyone had an opinion. That's when I realized something interesting. These foods weren't just meals. They were part of people's identity. Every sandwich carried decades of local pride. The road then took me east toward Maryland. The scenery changed completely. Fishing boats replaced skyscrapers. Fresh sea air replaced busy city streets. Everyone kept talking about one thing: crab cakes. I expected something heavy and fried. Instead, I found something surprisingly delicate. Large chunks of fresh crab, just enough seasoning, barely any filler. It tasted like the ocean itself. As I watched fishermen unloading fresh catches, I finally understood why Maryland is so proud of this dish. It wasn't simply seafood. It was the result of generations living alongside the Chesapeake Bay. For the first time, I wasn't just tasting food. I was tasting geography. Then came Tennessee, and with it, one of the biggest surprises of the entire trip: Nashville hot chicken. The waiter smiled when placing it in front of me. Good luck. I laughed. How spicy could chicken really be? 5 minutes later, I wasn't laughing anymore. My eyes watered, my face turned bright red. Even breathing felt spicy. The entire restaurant seemed amused by my struggle. One elderly gentleman simply smiled and said, "Now you're eating it the right way." But once the heat settled, something incredible happened. The spices weren't there just to burn. There were layers of flavor I'd never experienced before. Sweet, smoky, tangy. Then the heat arrived like a wave. Painful? A little. Worth it? Absolutely. For locals, this wasn't about showing off. It was tradition, a recipe passed down through generations. And somehow, I survived. Barely. By now, I'd driven through thousands of miles. Every state looked different, every accent sounded different, every table told a different story.
Back in Europe, I'd believed American food was one thing. Now I realized I hadn't been eating American food at all. I'd been tasting dozens of different cultures, histories, and traditions living inside one country. And the journey wasn't even halfway over, because next I was about to discover the city where food, music, and history come together like nowhere else in America. New Orleans.
New Orleans felt different the moment I arrived. The streets were alive with jazz. Historic buildings stood beside colorful balconies. The air carried the smell of spices I'd never experienced before. Then, someone placed a bowl of gumbo in front of me. I looked at it and honestly couldn't tell what I was about to eat. Seafood, sausage, vegetables, rice, everything was mixed together. One spoonful later, I understood. This wasn't just a recipe, it was history in a bowl. French traditions, African influence, Spanish flavors, Native American ingredients. Centuries of cultures had blended together to create something completely unique. Later that evening, I tried jambalaya, different from gumbo, but just as unforgettable. As music echoed through the streets of New Orleans, I realized something. Sometimes you don't learn about a place by visiting museums. Sometimes you learn everything by sitting at a dinner table. The next stop was Texas. People had warned me, don't rush Texas barbecue. Now I understood why. Outside the restaurant, giant smokers worked through the night. Some briskets had been cooking for over 14 hours. 14 hours for one meal. Back home, barbecue usually means a weekend gathering. In Texas, it's practically a religion. When my plate arrived, I didn't need a knife. The brisket pulled apart with almost no effort. The smoky flavor had reached every single bite. No fancy presentation, no expensive decoration, just patience, skill, and generations of tradition. What surprised me most wasn't the food. It was the people. Families sat together. Strangers talked like old friends. Nobody seemed to be in a hurry. The meal wasn't just about eating. It was about spending time together.
Leaving Texas, I headed west toward New Mexico. Almost immediately, I noticed something strange. Every menu asked the same question: red or green? At first, I thought they were asking about vegetables. Then someone laughed and explained. They were talking about chili. In New Mexico, green chili isn't just an ingredient. It's part of everyday life. People put it on burgers, breakfast, stews, even pizza. The flavor wasn't overwhelmingly spicy. It was earthy, fresh, and completely different from anything I had tasted before. By now, I had stopped comparing American food with European food. I had started appreciating every region for what it truly was, its own world. Then came Chicago. If New York had introduced me to pizza, Chicago completely confused me. When the pizza arrived, I honestly wondered if someone had brought me a pie instead. It was thick, layered, covered with cheese, finished with tomato sauce on top. I couldn't even pick it up with my hands. It needed a knife and fork. New Yorkers insist this isn't real pizza. Chicago proudly disagrees. After trying both, I realized something. Neither city was trying to be better. They were simply telling different stories through the same dish. And honestly, I loved both. The final stretch of my mainland journey brought me to the peaceful coast of Maine. Small fishing villages, quiet harbors, fresh ocean air. Then came the famous lobster roll. There was almost nothing complicated about it. Fresh lobster, soft bread, a little butter. That's it. When your ingredients are this fresh, you don't need anything else. Every bite tasted like the Atlantic Ocean. Simple, honest, perfect. Sometimes the best meals aren't the most expensive. They're the ones that respect the ingredients. Finally, I reached Hawaii. If the rest of America had surprised me, Hawaii amazed me. Palm trees, volcanic mountains, crystal clear water, and a completely different food culture. That's where I discovered poke. Fresh fish, rice, seaweed, vegetables. Simple ingredients prepared with incredible care. It was light, refreshing, and unlike anything else I'd eaten during my journey. Standing beside the Pacific Ocean, I realized this didn't even feel like the same country where I'd started my trip. And yet, it was.